1, go!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jose. I am the Egg Paladin, and I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I love the characters, the music, the gameplay, and all of his games. Most of the time! Okay, look. I know that the Sonic series had its ups and downs in the past, but we can't just overlook the fact of how fun some of Sonic games were. No Sonic game is perfect, and we understand that. I mean, have you seen the Sonic Adventure cutscenes? Ew! Okay, look. The series isn't perfect. I know that, but the games are still fun regardless. However, there is one Sonic game out there that has gained lots of popularity, love, and attention in the modern era that's almost like spreading a plague among the fanboys. Boy! That game is known as Sonic Colors. Okay, so you guys know that Sonic Colors has been regarded as one of the best modern Sonic games ever made. Heck, it was a commercial success that has sold over at least 2 million copies!
Jesus Christ.
So with all that love and attention that Sonic Colors has gained, you guys may be wondering, hey Paladin, do you like Sonic Colors? And to answer that question, my answer is no. Okay, now that I said that, I'm pretty sure I triggered a lot of fanboys out there. Yup! Okay, listen, before you guys lose your temper like a girl on her period, let me just say this first. Do I hate the people who like Sonic Colors? No. Do I attack the people that love Sonic Colors? No. Do I label my opinions as fact that I'm better than you and you guys should shut up? Yes. I mean, no! So you guys are thinking to yourselves, why do I dislike Sonic Colors? Well, look, ever since I played this game back in 2010, I liked it, but as the years go by, after looking at this game with a critical mind, my opinions on Sonic Colors have changed, and I want to explain my reasons why. But before I do, let me just say that this video is going to be my opinion, and is in no way based in fact, so you guys won't think that I'm a big old got it! So with that being said, this is going to be my top 5 reasons why I think Sonic Colors sucks. Okay, let's get this over with before a Sonic Colors fanboy comes over and f***s up my brain cells. Got it! Number 1. Blocky level designs. So for those who played Sonic Colors, you guys should know how Sonic is supposed to play and how his gameplay connects with the levels that are meant for Sonic to roam around. That's where the level design comes in. See, in previous Sonic games, level design was linear, but they were big enough for Sonic and Co to run around and of course explore around the levels, taking multiple pathways to the player's leisure. Sonic Colors on the other hand is trash! Okay, look, most of the level designs in Sonic games are linear, going from point A to point B. However, in Colors, the level design, to be honest, is incredibly blocky, not to mention flat. Like my ex-girlfriend. Okay, look, let me just say this please. Sonic's level design, as I said before, has multiple pathways and are large enough for the player to explore to their leisure. But in Sonic Colors, however, the level design is not only short, but it's also cramped and slow, which forces the player to have to deal with it and proceed on no matter if the player likes it or not. But to me, I say that's a bunch of Look, people will love to run around all over the place, but only if the game will let the player allow them to play at their pace, whether it's fast or slow. But since level design in Sonic Colors is small and blocky, not to mention focusing mainly on speed and less on momentum physics-based platforming gameplay, yeah, that's a real problem. Oh yeah, speaking of gameplay, Number 2. Limited gameplay and wisps. Alright, look, I know this is going to be debatable, but please hear me out. See, in previous Sonic games, like the Sonic Adventure games and Sonic Heroes for example, Sonic Team managed to make Sonic and Friends controls smooth, tight, and sharp for the player to freely run around all over the place. Also, like I said in the previous entry, the level design is supposed to be big enough for Sonic and Friends to run around to the player's choice to run fast, spin dash, and roll into a ball in order to gain speed and attack their foes, while also adding more elements to the gameplay to make Sonic unique, whether it's the light speed dash, the bounce attack, or the elemental shields. Sonic Colors, on the other hand, is very limited, however. Bruh. So what is my beef with the gameplay? Well, Sonic Colors is using the boost gameplay, which I have no problems with. but it feels watered down like a dried up sponge.
Kill me now!
See, look, the thing is that Sonic Colors, while having the boost formula, it felt like the game showing less potential and having Sonic to run and run and run without giving the player any sort of challenge. Not to mention, Sonic's control of this game feels heavy like an obese fat dude.
Boy!
Also, if I may say this, some parts of Sonic's gameplay not only feels heavy, but there are moments in which the game is controlling itself for you, which is another issue not most Sonic fans may or may not know. This is a method called scripted scenes, in which the game takes away control from the player for a short time just to show some scenes to make it look all cinematic and shit. But Sonic's gameplay is already cinematic enough, so what is the point of that? Okay, look, I know what the fans are going to say. Duh, Powder, it's the Nintendo Wii. It's limited. Okay, yes, I know that the Wii was limited and wasn't capable of maintaining the same quality as the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. But here's my argument. In previous Sonic games like Sonic Adventure, for example, that game had momentum physics-based gameplay, and it was on a Dreamcast, which was severely limited than the Wii. I know that the Wii doesn't have good graphics as a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, but it's capable of copying data and gameplay into the Wii. Have you guys heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Why do you keep fixing that wasn't broken, Sonic Team?
Stupid!
So look, I know people love this gameplay, and I understand that, but I can't overlook that the gameplay is flawed, and don't even get me started on the Wisps. This is my opinion, but I never liked the Wisps in this game. Look, I know that there are part of the story to save them or whatever, but the way how they were ported into the gameplay makes me want to rip my butthole hairs apart like a woman with fake hair. The Wisps in this game, in my opinion, are only optional to get the items like 1-ups, red rings, etc. They aren't needed to complete the game, in which makes their connection to the gameplay feel somewhat unnecessary, unless you wanted to get supersonic and fly around like if you are on speed. Also, I forgot to add to this, but some of the wisps that the player has supposed to take control feels off. Like the laser and the hover wisp are okay, the rocket wisp feels automatic, the cube wisp was dumb and uninteresting, and the spike wisp feels a little awkward to control, even on walls or rooftops. Speaking of hover and spikes, why the f are Sonic's Lightspeed Dash and Spin Dash when he has the wisps with him? That makes no sense! Sonic's abilities were already connected into his current body, not with the wisps. Heck, in Sonic Generations, the wisps return, but he didn't need them to gain for spin dashing or the light speed dashing because the blue fast dildo already has him in his control. So having the wisp using Sonic's main abilities taken away from him when he doesn't have a wisp in him is complete bullshit! And don't even get me started on the Frenzy Wisp. This wisp is trash. You can't maintain its control, and it quickly ends after the gauge is out, no matter if it's 2D or 3D, especially in 3D, so what was the point of that? Alright, look, bottom line, I don't like the gameplay or the wisps in this game. If you guys like them, that's fine with me, but please try not to look past its flaws, but since some Sonic fans love this game, that's not worth saying. Number 3. Lack in difficulty. Okay, since the player has completed a few stages as they go, the difficulty will increase in order to give the player a certain challenge as they continue in order for the player to learn advanced moves and tactics when tackling levels like in most games like Super Mario Odyssey or The Legend of Zelda, for example. But in Sonic Colors, this is too easy! Seriously, there is no difficulty or hard moments in the game that is worth my time. All I have to do is make it all the way without dying and making all this challenging feel like a joke. Kill me! Alright, look, I know that Sonic Colors is obviously made to be for kids, as Takashi Iizuka said in some interviews, and I understood what he said, but at least give the kids a little bit of challenge to make things interesting and entertaining, no matter if the fan is a long-time Sonic fan or a new fan. However, making the whole game completely easy feels not only watered down, but it feels like the game is hand-holding the player, in which sucks! This is something that video games shouldn't do. If you want to make a game that's challenging but fun for all ages, Go ahead, it will give a sense of people having to know what they've learned and advance through the game. Don't handhold players like some toe-sucking turd brats! Players love to have a challenge. Sure, not all of them do, but it's fun for the player to proceed on and try their best to make the player earn what they've learned, and with Sonic Colors, it does give you what you've earned, like the red rings, but it feels like it's given to you freely without any hard work for making you play the game. Freebies much? Number 4. Multiplayer.
Are you kidding me?
Alright, for the people who have skipped or never played Sonic Colors, first of all, what's wrong with your life? And second, yes, there is multiplayer in Colors. And guess what?
It sucks.
Okay, so before you guys want to break my legs like a crippled chicken armed freak, let me just say my piece first. See, in Colors, you play as 1 or 2 players in advance from beginning to end. And while it is interesting to run and play as a bunch of Sonic bots to run and f up enemies, what really stinks about it is the correct level design and playing with 2 players with no split screen! That's another problem I have with the game's multiplayer. When you are playing with a friend, you have to reach to the end of the goal, but the problem is, since this is a fast game, and of course you gotta go fast! Gotta go fast! Gotta go faster, 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 faster! But when you are playing together with a friend, and if your player loses track of you, you need to either stop or move on without them, which makes it somewhat unfair since there is no split screen in the game, which is also dumb, especially if you and your friend are working together to beat the stage. Is this game on drugs? Look, the multiplayer may seem fun to you guys, but when it comes to a point where you and your friend are struggling to beat the stage, whether it's with or against each other, it feels very lackluster, limited, and downright boring. Can't wait for the fanboys to shoot me out now. Number 5. Bad writing and characterization. This is one of the worst things Sonic Team has ever included in the game. Most Sonic fans know about this, but to those who don't, well, first, let me smack you real quick. Okay, so for the people who don't know or at least don't care about the storytelling in Sonic games, let me make this clear to you. See, in previous Sonic games, when a story became one of the prime factors in a game, what people want to see in the story is how the story progressed, where it's taking place, what interesting plots hold, how the characters act, behave, and develop as the story goes on, how to resolve the issue at hand, and what characters learn and morals that gave into the story for the audience to enjoy. And believe it or not, Sonic is no exception. See, Sonic games are capable in telling good and memorable stories if written properly in order to make the player feel entertained and invested in the stories in Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure with Chaos, Sonic Adventure 2 with Shadow, Gerald, and the Ark, Sonic Heroes for its interesting and fun plot, and Sonic Unleashed Sonic and the Black Knight for its good characterization of Sonic for his cool, fun-loving, adventurous, and caring personality. These games not only had great gameplay, but good stories in terms of fun characters and interesting stories. So does Sonic Colors do the same thing?
Hell no!
Okay, look, this is something that really bothers me in this game, and that is the writing. In Sonic Colors, the story is lighthearted and kid-friendly, which I don't have a problem with. But the problem is what the writers did to Sonic and Co's personalities and characteristics. See, for those casual Sonic fans that don't know what I'm talking about, what's wrong with you?
Stupid.
And second, the ones who wrote this story are newcomers to the Sonic series. Their names are Ken Pontac and Warren Graff. Okay, now, before you guys lash out at me like a rageaholic madman, please hear me out. I do not hate or despise Ken Pontac or Warren Graff. From what I've seen, they're actually pretty nice guys in real life, especially after watching that video interview courtesy of Roger. However, their writing in Sonic Colors as well as their current writing in the Sonic the Hedgehog series is terrible. Alright, look. The problem with the writing in Colors was because it was very interesting with Eggman having to use the Wisp with their Hyper Go-On power and Sonic and Tails having to stop them. Now, this is the part where we learn about the Wisp and their history as well as how Eggman made his music part in a very short time slot, right?
Wrong!
wrong!
So instead of making the story fun and interesting, Pontiac and Grav have mainly focused on comedy and bad jokes to the point of having to explain the jokes, which are not only cringy, but it also made Sonic and Co. act generic, uninteresting, and not funny at all. What the f am I watching? This is something that Sonic isn't supposed to be. Sonic, sure, he's cocky, but the dude is adventurous, carefree, cool, and fun-loving, but caring and has a heart of gold. Not some unfunny jock with a personality! So yeah, Sonic and Friends were butchered in this game, and the poor writing makes this even worse for where it's making Sonic and Friends acting layered Sonic games. I'm looking at you, Lost World! Alright, look. I know you guys are going to type into the comments saying things like, Sonic Con is awesome, this song is the best game ever, you're wrong and ugly and stupid.
Shut your mouth!
Okay, look. I know you guys may or may not agree with my reasons on why I dislike Sonic Colors, but please understand that I don't like to ruin people's fun and love for Sonic Colors, because as I said before, if you like the game, that's fine, more power to you. I just felt on my side it has some flaws that needed to be addressed and to share my thoughts regardless if you guys think otherwise. That doesn't make you guys bad people unless you're a true fanboy. If you guys agree with my thoughts on Sonic Colors, or if you disagree, please feel free to tell me in the comment section in this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a like and share this video with your friends. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to see more, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. And be sure to follow me on my Twitter or DeviantArt if you like. So again, thank you so much everyone, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.